Another perfect day for baseball here at the Big A. Extra innings last night, but the Angels won their third consecutive victory tonight. It's Game 2 against the visiting Cleveland Indians. Hi, everyone, from inside the Big A. We welcome you back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. I'm Victor Rojas, along with my partner, Mark Gubza. We mentioned the extra innings. It's only been, what, eight extra inning games this year. No big deal through the first 33. But if you're going to win a game, might as well do it in grand fashion. 4 straight hits, including Torrey's game winner.
Yeah, the big thing, you had Torrey up in that situation. Herman was trying to throw him a curveball. First pitch to a winner. Second one didn't locate that well. And, of course, Torrey once again gets that ball up in his zone. He's looking for a pitch that he can hit in the air, and he got the perfect pitch to do some damage and wins the ball game. A tough one they won last night. They had all those hits, 14 hits. They scratched across 2 runs. Great pitching. Chatwell was outstanding. Only 2 hits allowed in an 8 innings pitch, so they were able to win the ball game. 3 in a row, going for number 4 in a row tonight.
You mentioned great pitching. Justin Masterson was just as good as Tyler Chatwell. And for the Angels tonight, Jared Weaver going for win number 7.
Well, he's been throwing the ball so well. Whether you're right-handed or left-handed, he's going to be able to work it down in his zone. Those great out pitches. Any given game, he's going to have 4, sometimes 5 above-average out pitches. Throws a ton of strikes, 11 walks, 55 punch-outs. That great ERA. Started off 6-0. He had a little bit of a glip there last time out against Boston, but look for him to get up there and dominate this Tribe offense.
Well, even in that blip, he still threw the ball well, picked up the loss. Tonight, looking for some more heroics. Mike Scioscia looking for career win number 1,000. We're just about ready for baseball, so sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Southern California. Angels baseball is brought to you by your Southern California Hyundai dealers. and by CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. Well, we welcome you back here to the Big A for game number 2 of this 3-game set against the Cleveland Indians. The Angels have yet to take the field, and one managers just exchanged their lineup cards. But the Angels roll into this one with a 2-game lead in the American League West, of course, depending on what happens with the Texas Rangers, as well as the Oakland Athletics. Oakland and Texas second in the West with 2 games back. The Angels 19-14 with that victory yesterday. It's their 3rd consecutive win after dropping those first 2 in Boston. And the win last night put the Angels at 7-7 here at home, while they are still 12-7 out on the road. The Indians still in first place in the American League Central, 4.5-game lead over the Kansas City Royals at the start of the day. And this is the lineup that Manny Acta will run out there. Indians still very good at 21-10, 11 games over 500. Have Grady Sizemore leading things off in center. It's the shortstop as Dribble Cabrera batting second. Shin-Soo Choo is in right field. Carlos Santana is over at first base. In this ball game, Travis Hafner's the DH. Orlando Cabrera is the second baseman. Michael Brantley gets the start in left. Jack Hanahan moves up a spot. He'll play third. And doing the catching and batting ninth, it is Lou Marcin. Taking on the ace, Jared Weaver comes into this one with a 6-1 mark and a 1.39 ERA.
Boy, Weave's been throwing the ball excellent. Above all, when you look at that strikeout to walk ratio, I mentioned that in the pregame hit. 5-to-1 ratio, always around the zone. Very good stuff. 4-1 in his career against the Tribe with it. 1 career shutout against his team. Done excellent with that slider this year. And he said so far this season, his best slider of his career. And that's why you see right-handers only hitting 139 against them.
Well, let's take a look at the defense that will play behind Jared in this game. Wells in left. Borges gets his start tonight. He's in center. Torrey's in right. In the infield, it's Sturris and Ibar on the left side. Kendrick and Trumbo at the right side. And Jeff Mathis back behind the plate.
Boy, and Eric Ibar last night made some excellent plays. We talked about how well he was playing in Fenway Park. A couple great relays. Only 1 error and 100 chances this year. And above all, showing that athleticism, making the routine play, but also making the excellent play. In the backhand, able to get up in the outfield grass and throw out Brantley, who gets down the line very well. And in these 2 plays, he had to come in on the ball, round it, and still get the ball to transfer the glove to throwing hand on the run. Perfect throws, gets him in for some key plays in the field that kept that at that point a 1-1 ball game.
Well, he's done it offensively as well. The Angels back to wearing their normal everyday uniforms. Have retired those 80s throwback uniforms. They were a good look.
They were a good look, especially because they were button-down tops. Those other ones before, the double knits.
Double knits V-neck with the Sanzabel pants.
Oh, that was an excellent look.
Always a great look.
Very comfortable, too.
Yeah. Ready to start this ball game. Grady Sizemore to lead things off. Jared did not face the Cleveland Indians. Their first trip to the Big A. So first start against them this year. Coming off the loss against the Red Sox. 3 earned runs in 6 innings. Sizemore swings it, misses on that first pitch fastball. BP fastball at 88 miles an hour. No balls and a strike.
Well, him and Dan Herron compare books on that as far as throwing that pitch. It looks like a very excellent fastball, but it's about 4 or 5 miles an hour slower. See Sizemore way out in front of that swing.
0-1 pitch. Breaking ball. A little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sizemore was 0 for 5 yesterday. Now hitting .281, 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in. A couple of weeks removed from the disabled list. Weaver's 1-1 is lifted in the air. Vernon Wells, the left fielder, comes in a couple of steps. He will put it away, and there is the first out of this ball game. The Angels picking up the victory, 2-1. In 11 innings last night, 4 straight hits. Eric Ibar, Bobby Abreu, Meister Sturris, and then Torrey Hunter with the game winner. Kind of an odd sequence by Germano last night. Threw a breaking pitch to Torrey, which he swung and missed on, then threw him another slow curveball, and that's the one he hammered down the line.
When we think about getting a swing and miss or a ground ball, that's not the pitch you're going to get a ground ball with.
Off-speed pitch rolled foul by Asdrubal Cabrera, and it's no balls and a strike. Cabrera 0 for 3. Indians overall managed just 3 hits in last night's game. Santana had 2 of them. Matt Laporta, who's not playing tonight, had the other. That pitch is down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera hitting .264 on the year, 5 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Switch hitter. One ball, two strikes.
We can freeze you with that inside fastball. I was talking to John Nunnally, their hitting coach, before the game about Weaver's success of throwing that fastball inside. He wants his hitters to crowd the plate against him. Figures try to take away that fastball inside because he doesn't overpower you generally with velocity, Jerry Weaver, but he hits the spot so well.
And the counter attack for a starting pitcher is what?
Well,
when you see that,
if you see him in there, you're going to go at the hands. That's what you got to be able to do. But you can change up is going to be a perfect pitch also.
Line to left. Vernon will play it on a hop, and it's a one-out base hit for Cabrera.
He gets a fastball away here. See, that's the approach you're going to have. They're going to be on top of the plate and challenge the fastball inside. For Jared to be successful, he's going to throw the four-seam cutter in and then to back it up with the two-seam fastball. Should be able to freeze those left-handed batters inside a lot during the course of the game. But you have to show that cut fastball inside also to be successful with that two-seamer.
Shin-Soo Choo steps to the plate now. He was hitless, but hit a couple balls hard last night. 0 for 5 overall. Takes a breaking ball down and in. .217 average, 4 home runs, and 15 runs batted in. Made an excellent throw to third base last night on a fly ball. Ended up resulting in a double play. Trumbo flips over to second base to get the lead runner. The relay is not in time. But there are 2 outs as Choo reaches on the fielder's choice.
It's a pretty good throw by Trumbo when you think about it. It wasn't hit real well. He's able to spin around and make a strong throw, get the lead runner at shortstop. Nice play, coming in charging on that ball, got himself a good throwing position. It's Ibar with the throw, a quick throw to first, but Choo runs too well. Avoids the double play, but got the lead runner.
So 2 outs and a man at first for the first baseman, Carlos Santana, normally the everyday catcher for Cleveland. A switch hitter with some good pop, hit a double yesterday with one of his 2 hits, and they almost got Choo over at first base.
Sure, with 2 pickoffs already this season, he's allowed 4 stolen bases, 2 caught. He's pretty quick with that move. Choo has 6 stolen bases on the season, real close.
He's the Indians team leader in that category. They don't run a whole lot. 16 total stolen bases. Quick throw over there again. Trumbo, nice job of nabbing that one. Jeff Mathis behind the plate. He's thrown out 3 of 19 would-be base stealers.
Thrown out 2 of them when Jared's been on the mound. So they've had a pretty good rapport as far as holding the ball, throw over, and quick to the plate.
Now time is called at the plate. Santana backing out. Get you caught up on who's calling the balls and strikes. The veteran Kerwin Danley is behind the dish. Paul Noward at first. Doug Eddings at second. The crew chief Dana DeMuth over at third. And again, time is called. Jeff Mathis wanted time called. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss by Santana. No balls and a strike.
The pitch came in at 72 miles an hour. Well, on top of that curveball. Wow, you can see how far in front Santana was on that swing. He is susceptible to that 2-seam fastball inside also, especially after you show him that curveball.
Fastball inside, snap throw to first, and they almost got him. Good throw by Jeff Mathis. And a quick tag by Mark Trumbo.
Well, he came right in with that fastball inside, but quick release by Mathis almost gets Choo again.
1 ball, 1 strike on Santana. It's an Indians team that likes to hack early. We saw it in that first 3-game series. We saw it last night against Tyler Chadwick. This one's lifted in the air towards center field. Hit pretty well, but playable for Borges. Stepping on the warning track, makes the catch. That will end the first inning. Into the bottom of the first. Ibar, Bray, and the Sturris for the Angels with no score. But nothing happening for the Indians. We'll take a look at the lineup that Mike Scioscia runs out there, looking for the Angels' 20th victory on the year and Scioscia's 1,000. Eric Ibar leading things off at short. Bobby Abreu's the DH. Meister Sturris is playing third base tonight. Torrey Hunter, the cleanup man, in right. Howie Kendrick back over to second base. Vernon Wells is in left. Mark Trumbo gets to start at first. Jeff Mathis behind the plate, batting 8th and batting 9th. And playing center field, it is Peter Borges taking on a former #1 pick, North Carolina native, by the name of Alex White.
Alex White's a guy that has a power of sinking fastball 92 to 95. Occasionally will rush it up there with a four-seam fastball at 97. Slider, use his split finger fastball as his changeup.
Second major league start for White. His first came against the Tigers. First pitch here is down low, 1 ball, no strikes. In that game, he got a no decision, went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He gave up a home run to Miguel Cabrera. Well, if you're going to give up a home run, might as well.
First home run you give up, it's a pretty good one to give it up to.
Legit, too. Ibar takes low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Eric, yesterday, a 3-hit game, 3 for 5. Now with a 5-game hitting streak, his average of .359, no home runs, 7 runs batted in. He's chipped in 6 doubles, no triples yet on the year. Hanahan creeping in at third base. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. Kind of a, here in the early going, only seen 3 pitches. Right away, reminds me of Jake Westbrook.
Exactly the way he gets on top. He's more of a short arm pitcher. Good balance over the rubber. Works downhill with that sinker. No one is more of a strike thrower, but the first time out there struggled as far as throwing consistent strikes. Obviously, your first time out, you're going to be a little nervous. You got great numbers as far as walks to strikeouts in AAA. 5 walks, 28 punchouts.
Ibar takes a strike on the outside corner. We'll take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
Well, you got to shake, rattle, and roll. A little Elvis for you there, Victor. You got to rattle the youngster. That's the big thing. Put pressure on him, steal some bags, bunt on him. Make him feel he's got to do a little bit more than you want him to do on the mound as far as throwing consistent strikes.
Payoff pitch is chopped foul. Count remains full at 3-2.
Bring somebody from your era, Victor.
Well, I'm glad you explained who it was.
There's a number of people saying that song, but
I'm trying to think if I was alive when Elvis passed. Another 3-2. This was chopped on the ground at first. Santana knocks it down. Will flip on White. Ibar's retired for the first out. Let's take a look at the defense for the Cleveland Indians. It's Brantley in left, Sizemore in center, Shin-Soo Choo in right. Hanahan and Cabrera on the left side of the infield. Cabrera and Santana on the right side. And Lou Marson getting the strike behind the plate.
Well, we watched Shin-Soo Choo last night as far as getting rid of that baseball as quick as a release as you're going to see in the game. That's that perfect throw to left from left field to third base, led the majors as far as assists from the outfield, 14. Great arm. The transfer is excellent, and he charges the baseball very well.
There's Bobby Abreu. First pitch is down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. In that start against the Tigers, White did strike out 4, and he also walked 4. You mentioned a pretty good control guy, strikeout pitcher. Very good strikeout pitcher in college. Strikeout totals in the minor leagues. That pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. 15th overall selection in 2009, already in the big leagues. One. Ground ball to third. Hanahan has it. 2 outs.
Well, we're seeing why that power sinker. He's got 2 ground ball outs already in the game. First 2 guys up. Good playing as far as where he wants to sink that baseball. Again, doesn't have a big long motion, more of a short arm throw. But you're right, Westbrook, it kind of reminds you of that power sinker down there. And a lot of times when you have that kind of arm motion, chances are you can stay around for a long time. And he's got that type of power move and good balance over the rubber.
Good numbers in the minor leagues last year in 25 starts. He's got the first 2 outs here. Delivers a strike on his Sturris. Meister 2 for 5 yesterday with a double and an RBI. His double that scored Bobby Abreu tied the game up against Justin Masterson. Went around on that pitch, and it's 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. White seems to work fairly quickly, kind of deliberate, kind of like the Dan Herron you like to talk about, kind of getting composed on the rubber before coming down the hill.
That's the big thing. It allows you to get over the front leg, especially when you're a taller pitcher. Get over the front leg and have good downward action on your pitches.
Sturris breaks his bat and hits a little one-hopper to his Drupal Cabrera. A little easy flick to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for White. The Angels go down in order. 1 in the books. We have no score. Have no score, and it's our pleasure to welcome in, courtesy of the 50th anniversary celebration, former Angels Shigetoshi Hasegawa. What's going on, Shiggy?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to be back here. You know, I feel like home here.
Well, as well you should. And looked like you were at home on the mound throwing out the first pitch. We have critiqued everyone's first pitch because we can't. Because we sit up here and we can do whatever we want as we mock.
That was a 95?
That was some serious queso that you were throwing.
That was a 70.
70?
Yeah.
That had great movement, too.
Yeah.
You're painting it.
Right from the rubber and everything, and you wound up.
No, my elbow was a little raw.
Yeah,
So.
you drug a little bit. So, well, you know, mechanics get off a little bit when you haven't played for a while.
That's right.
It's a pretty good 0-2 pitch, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Get him thinking a little bit. What have you been doing with your stuff? I know you said you have your son is in high school. And
yeah, I was coaching for my son a little bit, you know, but my son went to the high school. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to high school right now, so I start playing golf again. So my handicap's going down. That's good.
That's
I know
very
you
good.
like to play golf every day, don't you? What is your handicap right now? Just in case we go play, because I might let you get away with saying you're like a 14 or
20?
something.
No,
of course you would say that.
No. 1.5 right now. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's way out of our league. And that's not saying a whole lot either.
You know, honestly, you know, I played you know, Golden State tournament the other day. You know, I shoot 83. You know,
really?
It's like a fast game in the big league. I was a little nervous. I couldn't putt. That's a fast game, official game.
Yeah, no question.
I couldn't putt. But I'll be back over there, and I'm going to win sometimes. No, I don't think so.
Hafner lifting a fly ball to deep left field. Vernon Wells is back there. And Hafner's retired for the first out.
Well, the fans still love you here, Shiggy. They were still playing your song here, getting Shiggy with it.
Thank you. You know, I was sitting, you know, stands the other day, you know, 2 weeks ago. A lot of fans asked me, why don't you pitch again? That's the you know, always asking me. So, you know, I say only home game, not that way.
You want the Vince Scully schedule.
Doesn't work that way. I talked to the social a couple of times too. You know, we need a bullpen. Can I pitch just a home game? No. That's what he said.
Oh, that's classic. Orlando Cabrera takes.
Well, we're scoring a lot more runs on the road, so you might want to go out on the road.
Yeah, that's. I heard that we don't have any big home run right here.
No.
It used to be, you know, the hitter's ballpark, right?
Yeah.
Now pitcher's ballpark.
Yeah.
What's going on?
This one in foul ground. Trumbo calls off Mathis. 2 outs.
It wasn't a pitcher's ballpark when I was here. I know that. How about you? Baseball have a tendency to go flying out.
Yeah, I still remember, you know, you and me, you know, you were the starter, one starter, and then Mark Langston and Chuck Finley. I tried to get the, you know, one spot for the starting rotation, which is I couldn't get it. But, you know, I still remember that. And I found a way in the bullpen, you know. I pitched from the bullpen. I didn't like it at the beginning, but, you know.
You did a great job.
I had to, right? And I found it, so.
Michael Brantley takes his track. I want to ask you something real quick, and we don't have a whole lot of time depending on what happens here, but you're one of the first wave of guys coming over from overseas to play in Major League Baseball. I mean, are you happy with the way things have progressed and seeing so many Asian players come over?
You know what? Actually, you know, Normo came here, the first one, and didn't affect anything because he was a big star over there. And I was kind of average pitcher in Japan, and right after that, everybody thinking, you know what? If Shige can pitch, I can pitch too. That's the reason so many guys come in here. I'm glad, you know, that was my goal.
Sure.
You know, I wanted to see that many Japanese guys pitching or playing, whatever. So playing a big league, and they did. I'm glad. So.
Howie Kendrick to the backhand, throws out Brantley. Shigetoshi, thank you so very much. A pleasure seeing you.
What new? You got another 1, 2, 3.
Another 1, 2, 3.
Of course, because of Weaver. Thank you.
All right, head to the bottom of the second with no score. Weaver as we start at the bottom of the second with no score. And our thanks again to Shigetoshi Hasegawa for joining us here in the booth.
What a good guy.
I like his answer about coming over. Said, you know what, he just wanted to be just a guy, come over, see if he could pitch in the big leagues. Carved out a nice little career with the Angels and the Mariners.
And I like what he said about he liked, he was a very good pitcher over there, but he wasn't a pitcher like Nomo over there. And then all of a sudden the influx of pitchers coming over and get an opportunity to be successful in the major leagues over here in the States.
Torrey Hunter takes a strike. Didn't quite work out that way for Hideki Rabo.
No. Well, there's been some nice words said about him at that point when he came over. I think that didn't help him out. Stressing a little bit.
Breaking balls in there for a strike, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. He was one of the late George Steinbrenner's favorite pitchers.
So many good things to say about him.
Here comes the 0-2 to Torrey. A swing and a miss. And White has faced 4 batters. He's retired 0-4, and that's his first strikeout. Hey, tomorrow the Angels will conclude this series against the Tribe at 12:35 p.m. The first 20,000 adults 18 and older will receive a Mother's Day sun hat courtesy of Aquafina. To purchase your tickets, visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or just log on to angels.com. That's right, Gooby. Just says adults. Doesn't say ladies. So you get your wish and you're going to get your floppy hat.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know. It's good luck.
Definitely going to be wearing that on the next road trip. Texas, it would be a great look. It'd be nice and cool to wear that.
It's always warm in Texas. Yeah. Why not? Howie Kendrick 2 for 4 last night's game. Swings and misses here. No balls, 2 strikes. 15 multi-hit games for Howie. Hitting .311 on the season with 6 home runs and 14 driven home. Oh, 2 missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now he shoots one to right field. There's a base hit, and Chu was shading him that way. And you very rarely see a right fielder playing where Shin-Soo Choo was against Howie Kendrick, a right-handed batter who's very good hitting that ball to the alley.
Looks like he was playing a pull left-handed hitter.
Yeah.
Turning that sinking fastball over, but Howie's so good as far as approach inside out in that swing. Boy, the thing is, for a hitter against White here, you have to stay back because he's so slow and deliberate. Then all of a sudden, boom, that hard sinker's on you. You got to stay compact, and that's what Howie was able to do.
Vernon taps the first pitch foul. It's no balls and a strike. I'd dare to say that ball, if a right fielder's playing in a normal right field position, that's a double.
At least if it doesn't get around that corner. That's with a swing like that, the result should be a double if you're a right-handed hitter. But Chu was playing them perfectly to be able to keep it to a single. That's what you want, especially when you have a sinker ball pitcher on the mound. Keep the guys to a single because one pitch later you can get 2 outs with it.
0-1. Breaking ball is in there. No balls, 2 strikes. Both teams now with a hit. As Drupal Cabrera got one against Weaver in the first inning, and Howie here with 1 out in the first against White. No balls, 2 strikes, John Vernon. He swings and drills one out to deep left field. This one's got a chance. Going back is Bradley and gone. Big fly for Vernon Wells. His first at home makes it 2-0 Angels.
Boy, that's a good swing on a pitch that got into his nitro zone, that inner half and down. Dropped the head of the bat, crushed that out to left field.
Fourth home run of the year for Vernon, now with 12 runs batted in. After a rough night at the plate, the Angels had 14 hits, but Vernon last night went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. It's good to see him getting it going here at home, and trying to get it going here at home. That's not a bad way to start. Here's Mark Trumbo. Takes inside for ball 1.
Just try not to do too much with your swing. Just get a pitch in your spot where you can get the good part of the bat on the baseball. That's the bottom line for Vernon. He did so a number of times on this past road trip, but finally relaxing at home.
Trumbo fouls one back over our heads. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mark didn't play in yesterday's game, but overall hitting .255. Tied for the team lead in home runs with 6. And he is the team leader in RBIs right now with 17. Fastball is in there, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Tapper foul. That home run by Wells, the 31st hit by the Angels this year.
I mean, Trumbo's just read a number of all-speed pitches very well on his past road trip. He hit that home run against John Lackey on a curveball. Same pitch earlier with Lackey against him at home he had troubles with.
Well, he protects there. Good. White was trying to sneak a fastball away. Got a piece of it and shot it into the seats. The count remains at 1-2.
It's all part of that process of learning how to hit at the major league level. A tough pitch like that, you just got to try to foul it off. And he was certainly late on that fastball enough to be able to put it out of play and survive another pitch.
Another 1-2. One fastball down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was only the 6th home run by an Angels player at home this year. 25 of the 30 coming into today have been hit out on the road. 2-2. Tapper foul.
It's really hard to explain too. I mean, this is not Petco Park, San Diego, as far as a great hitter's yard. But we've had some cool weather at night. Notice the ball has not been carrying as well, but you know, the left field, the left center field, there's great carry here, and of course right center field there is also. Center field, you have to crush the ball to get it out of.
Trumbo fouls it back, so the count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Prolonged at bat here for Mark Trumbo. He goes down swinging, and that will be out number 2. Second strikeout for White.
Now it's time for a Coors Light cold hard blast, and what a blast it was for Vernon Wells. Has to feel good about this swing. Sinker down and in. Boy, he tucked his hands in perfectly, hit into the second part of the bullpen, the visitors' bullpen, for a 2-run bomb for Vernon Wells, and that was a Coors Light cold hard blast. Man, it has to feel good for Vernon, especially at home.
2 outs, nobody on for Jeff Mathis. He swings and grounds one over to short. Cabrera has it. That'll end the inning, but the Angels strike first, courtesy of Vernon Wells. 4th home run of the year. 2 in the books. Angels lead it 2-0. 2-run home run after Howie Kendrick got the Angels' first hit with a base hit to right with one out in the second. Vernon with his 4th home run of the year. His first here at the Big A. Here in the 3rd inning, Jared Weaver, who had a 1-2-3 frame in the second, will face 8, 9, and 1. Hanahan, Marson, and Sizemore. No strikeouts, no walks. 1 hit allowed by Jared Weaver. Hanahan looks at a fastball up and away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Hanahan just 0 for 2 in last night's game, even though he played the whole time. Ended up drawing 2 walks against Tyler Chatwood. Off speed is in there for a strike, and it evens the count. It merits talking about Tyler because of how good he was yesterday, making his 2nd start of his brief career against the team he made his major league debut against. 1-1 pitch is hit into center field. Is it going to hang up? It's not. It's going to fall in for a base hit, and the leadoff man is on board. Angel fans, log on to foxsportswest.com/angels for all the latest team news, including Bill Engvall's take on baseball cliches. Don't forget to vote for the Angels poll question: which team is the biggest surprise this season? The Indians, the Royals, the Marlins, or the Rockies? You can do all of that at foxsportswest.com/angels.
I think he's talking about 1 game at a time type stuff. All those cliches in baseball.
Oh yeah, no question. Lou Marson, the catcher at the plate. He'll look at a breaking ball for a strike. Tyler Chatwood last night, 8 innings of fantastic baseball, limiting the Indians to just 2 hits, striking out 5, walked 5, although 1 was intentional, giving up just 1 run.
Well, I think that curveball he established, the fastball inside, he had 2 two-seam fastballs. He ran inside on left-handed batters that froze him for strikeouts looking.
Breaking ball in the dirt.
And that great curveball he threw to Sizemore. What was that, in the 8th inning?
Yep,
one of his best pitches he had during the course of that game. And Grady Sizemore has been hitting the ball very well. Ends up striking out in the 8th inning. So I like what Mike Scioscia did. Showed some confidence in the youngster to give him that opportunity to pitch in the 8th inning, and went out there and proved it.
One. Marson swings through. That was 1 and 2. And the thing we saw there on that graphic was 111 pitches. And normally for a young guy just kind of getting his feet wet in the big leagues, you perhaps see a little bit of a fade towards the end. But Tyler retired the last 7 in a row to finish his 8 innings. Got stronger, just like he did in his major league debut when he gave up those 4 runs early against Cleveland, then settled down nicely. Marson fouls 1 back.
Well, you just kind of like what the approach he has, even if he's given up a couple hits in a row, or if he's walked the guy, doesn't seem to be rattled. And then, like you mentioned, that as he went during the course of that game, started getting stronger and stronger, and really started punching the strike zone with that fastball, and of course the curveball, and a pretty good changeup too.
Doesn't hurt either that Torrey Hunter motivated him before the game by showing him his pay stub. Torrey's pay stub. Breaking ball chopped on the ground is short. Might be able to turn 2. Ibar to Kendrick to first. Not in time. Hard takeout at second base by Hanahan. But Marson hustling down the line, and he'll reach on the fielder's choice.
Off the end of the bat on that curveball. Boy, that was some kind of turn, though, for Ibar to Howie. Hanahan was right on top of Howie when he made this turn. Slid hard. Still pretty good throw. That was a close play. He might have got him.
I think he may have gotten him too. At least the last replay we saw. Boy, nice job by Howie too to jump up. Take your legs. Get your legs taken out, but being able to land softly there. So Marson reaches on the fielder's choice. 1 out here, Sizemore. But just to finish that story, I mean, you're a 21-year-old kid. Eyes are wide open in the big leagues. And all of a sudden, a veteran who making some pretty good cake comes over and says, hey, here's my pay stub. If you pitch the way you're capable of pitching, you too can earn one of these someday.
You know what, as I recall, Torrey once told me this story a few years ago. Kirby Puckett did that to him too. It's a motivational thing. That's what you love about when you've been around veteran players. You kind of pass it on, you pass the torch, and Torrey was able to do so with Chatwood.
Sizemore pops it up behind the plate. Jeff Mathis makes the catch. 2 outs.
Boy, and Tyler last night, you have to just love his approach. His mechanics were very good. That 2-seam fastball gets the antenna Chu with the fastball. Both very good fastball hitters, but a located fastball makes it more difficult than that sinker, and then paints the outside corner. And this pitch right here I thought was his best to Grady Sizemore on that slow curveball. Established his off-speed pitch, had a great two-seam fastball with movement, and rushed a few up there at 95.
Yep.
Got to give Hank Congerdo a lot of credit too. They worked very well together behind the plate and on the mound.
No decision for Tyler. Fernando Rodney picked up the win in relief. Jared Weaver with 2 outs and a man at first. Jubal Cabrera at the plate. He'll look at an off-speed pitch in for a strike.
So you think if Torrey would just, instead of just giving us, showing it a pay stub, just throw that check up to us one time? Remember he was going to get us some tires for us at one point.
Yeah, it worked out too.
Yeah.
Nitto Tires actually sent us an email saying,
yes, they did.
We'd like some tires.
Nice.
This one out toward left center field. Borges was shading Cabrera that way. He'll make the catch. And that will end the inning. No runs a hit, 1 left on. We hit to the bottom of the third. Angels still on top 2-0. Third, Angels on top by the score of 2-0. Halos have 9-1 and 2 coming up here against Alex White, Peter Borges, Eric Ibar, and then Bobby Abreu. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left on for Cleveland. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on for the Halos. Peter last night got into the game as a pinch hitter, ended up going 0 for 2, a couple of groundouts. Hitting .302 on the year. Shows Bum drops a bunt out in front of the plate. Didn't it too much as Marson will throw him out for the first out. Hey, the Chevy Diamond and Dreams contest is back. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to enter for a chance for your community to win a field makeover, and you could win a new Chevrolet. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 and over. Contest ends May 31st. And all you have to do is log on to ChevyBaseball.com and get all of the details.
Camaro, maybe?
Oh, yeah. The soft top convertible's coming out apparently.
I know. A lot of pressure for my son. 16-year-old now.
Get her done. Ibar takes the off-speed pitch outside. See how White works the Angels here. Second time through the order. Ibar had a long at-bat in the first inning, but ended up grounding out to Santana at first. Ibar lifts one out to deep right center field. Sizemore giving chase. Still going back off the wall. Ibar's going to run for a while. Chu has to come over, retrieves the baseball, gets it back in, and Eric in at third base with his first triple of the year.
Some pretty good carry in the ballpark tonight. Ball was hit very well by Eric Ibar. Grady Sizemore is a guy that can track that baseball very well, but that ball's off the wall. Like sinker elevated. That's a big thing, though. When you're a sinker ball pitcher, anything above the belt, or at least in that region, is going to be hit hard because there's not as much sink on that pitch. More lateral movement, and Ibar made him pay for it.
The Indians will bring their infield in, and I'd like to see that baseball back when Grady Sizemore wasn't having to deal with so many nagging injuries. He was a guy that played with reckless abandon. That ball hit kind of at the bottom part of that wall. 1 ball, no strikes on Bobby Abreu as it stands. Ibar's first triple of the year, 21st of his career.
Yeah, that's a good point, because he's a guy that, I'll tell you what, went back and dove into the wall many a time. He had to go a long way. It would have been an incredibly difficult play to make.
Bobby shoots one down the line, slicing foul. Out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. The minute he saw the wall is when he started to kind of slow down.
And that's one of those difficult plays, too. If you go sliding and it gets away, that's going to be an inside the Parker. So he's trying to be able to feel to keep it in front, to keep Ibar at second. But once it got away, with Ibar's speed, he's going to cruise into third.
The 1-1 pitch. Ibar, pardon me, Brute. Has a 1 ball, 2 strike count. RBI opportunity here for Bobby. Grounded out to Hanahan in the first. Lays off that sinking fastball. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was the pitch that Bobby had grounded out to Hanahan with.
Again, the difficult thing here against a sinker ball pitcher is to try to somehow bring him up in the zone to be able to get a base hit, hit in the air. With the infield in, your advantage is certainly to you.
Two. Boy, jammed him. Nice job by Bobby to fight that one off. The one thing the Angels have done here in the early going against Alex White is make him throw a lot of pitches. 42 thus far. A couple of deep counts. He had himself a 1-2-3 first inning. Checked his swing.
We'll try to get him to swing at that slider down in the ground. Really, his mindset's got to be against Bobby. Make him swing at your pitch. Even if you walk him, you still have that possibility of a double play when you have a power sinker like he has. So his thought process, he can't give in, but Bobby's got to be in mindset is, I can't swing at a pitch out of the zone. I got to try to get something I can at least get in the air.
Ibar standing at third with 1 out. There comes the 3-2. He takes down low and he walks him. First and third now for Meister Sturz. First walk issued by White to go with the 2 strikeouts. And Abreu has been a walk machine this year. That's his 25th base on balls. Bobby came into this game third in the American League in that category. Jose Bautista, the Blue Jays, the American League leader with 30 walks. Quick throw to first. Bobby's back. Bobby will run. We've seen it over the last week. The Angels being aggressive on the bases. Abreu with 4 stolen bases. He's been caught once. Indians now with their middle infielders back looking for that double play ball.
White's not real easy to steal against, too, because he utilizes that slide step. He's got a quick move to first, as you can see right there. The only thing is, you can be successful sometimes on a sinker ball pitcher because that ball then ends up running down towards the dirt, makes it more difficult to get the transfer to the catcher glove and your throwing arm.
Now a step off. Sturz grounded out to Asdrubal Cabrera, the shortstop in the first inning, and now Marson wants to talk things over with White. Tim Belcher, the pitching coach, is going to come out.
And knowing Tim and what the approach he has with his pitchers, he's going to say, hey, listen, trust the fastball. You got to think in the lines of pitch to contact with this pitch down. If it's one of your infielders, you have a chance to get through the inning. Now, if you're going to be out of the strike zone, you're not going to get hitters up there hacking against you. And Meister's a guy that's very patient at the plate. Tim has done a great job as far as telling what this team needs to do to be successful. Throw a lot of first pitch strikes, be quick on the mound. They haven't allowed a whole lot of stolen bases against them, or at least a lot of attempts, I should say. So they're very good as far as being quick to the plate and throwing first pitch strike.
The Indians overall as a staff a 3.25 ERA, third in the American League behind the A's and the Angels. The Halos staff ERA 3.04. No balls, no strikes on Sturz. Ibar third, Abreu at first. That first pitch fastball is up and away. Feel like a Dino flashing his signs. The patented try box. I mentioned Jake Westbrook in the early going. As far as a comparison, Meister pulls this one over to second base. Cabrera on to Cabrera, relay to first. In time, inning-ending double play, and the Angels get nothing out of it. 3 in the books. Halos still on top, 2-0. Always here in the fourth. Time now for AT&T trivia question. Mike Scioscia with 999 managerial victories. We're the only two Angels managers ever with 300 or more. Going for win number 1,000 here tonight. He's got a 2-0 lead. Jared Weaver on the mound. Shin-Soo Choo, Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner for Cleveland here in the fourth. And Choo helps out the cause. Swinging first pitch. He grounds out, and there is the first out. So he's 0 for 2. I would have to guess Gene Mauch is one of those guys, right?
You would think so. Maybe Buck Rogers.
Great TV show.
Yes, no question. So he wins a lot of games managing, has his own TV show too?
That's what happens in Southern California. It's where dreams happen.
Yes.
1 out, nobody on for Carlos Santana. Takes a curveball in for a strike. Santana drove one out to deep center field in the first inning, but it was caught by Borges at the warning track. Ball had, we talked about during the commercial break, pretty good carry out to center field. That fastball's down and in, 1-1.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to be a routine out. They just kept carrying and carrying right at the wall. Borges able to make that play with that good first step.
Here's the 1-1. Santana pops it foul and out of play. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Jared would have a strikeout yet in this game. May have to get one here with a good breaking pitch.
Breaking ball rolled up the line and goes off the glove of Trumbo and into right field. Santana will head to second. Torrey gets the baseball in. It's a double for Santana, his 4th of the year. Comes with 1 out here in the 4th.
Another slow curveball. So this time it got a little bit of the plate. Trumbo tried to dive, just tipped his glove. Gets by him, slowed it down enough to be able to make sure that because of that, Santana's able to get a double.
It'll bring up Travis Hafner with 1 out. Man in scoring position. Hafner hit a fly ball to left field leading off the second, so he's 0 for 1. First pitch. Changeup misses up high, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. The Indians' .265 hitting ball club, 3rd in the American League. 3rd in home runs at 34, 2nd in runs scored with 156. They've done it both offensively as well as pitching. Throw to second base, nothing's happened.
Saw that last night with Santana. He tries to get that big secondary lead to give him an opportunity to try to score if there's a base hit into the outfield.
One. Curveball is in there, 1-2. The Angels, with their 14 hits last night, came into tonight's game leading the American League in hitting. A .270 average. Picked up 3 knocks in this game, leading at 2-0. That fastball is up high, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
.270 leading the American League at hitting. That's generally pretty low. It's a good average and be at the top of the Angels are, but remember all those years for at least recent memory, 290s or above leading the American League in hitting, especially this time of the year. But you can see the difference now. The pitching has been excellent early part of the year. We saw that today with Verlander with a no-hitter.
Jared Strungley with that changeup, leaving it up. It's a full count now. And Justin Verlander had a perfect game in the 8th inning. Had an 11-pitch battle with J.P. Arancibia. Ended up working a walk, but then settled for the no-hitter.
Yes. Second and last pitch he threw in that game in the 9th inning, 100 miles an hour on the fastball before he had to strike out on the slider.
3-2, and that's lined into center field, a base hit. Santana, a little bit of a late jump, will be stopped at third base. The throw comes home on 1 bounce. And Hafner with a base hit. So back-to-back hits now with 1 out in the 4th.
Yeah, during the sequence of pitches for Jared against Hafner, release point on the changeup. Second one was very good. And then a curveball on the outside corner was ahead of the count. 1-2, tried to elevate with a fastball, and then another changeup got underneath that pitch. Then the curveball tracked it very well. Hafner was able to do against him.
Well, you got a potential double play guy at the plate in Orlando Cabrera. Santana's over at third. Hafner at first. Hafner doesn't run that well. Cabrera popped out in foul territory in the second, so he's 0 for 1. Breaking ball, and that is hit well to deep left field. Vernon Wells is back toe near the track, will make the catch. Santana tags, and he will score to sacrifice fly for Cabrera, and it's a 2-1 Angels lead.
Cabrera's upset with himself. He felt he had a pitch to hit out of the ballpark and just missed it. Slider, wrist action, didn't get down on that one. It was right over the middle of the plate. A lot of times when you see baseball's hit hard. It's a hanging slider, and that's what that pitch was. Fortunate enough, he didn't get the full good part of the bat on there to drive it out, but a sacrifice fly successful for Cabrera. Jarrett will take the out.
Brantley takes down low for ball one. Hafner still over at first base. Orlando Cabrera picking up his 19th run batted in with that sac fly. Brantley grounded out to Howie Kendrick to end the second. So he's 0 for 1. Michael, the son of former big leaguer Mickey Brantley. Did a nice job filling in center field while Sizemore was on the mend. So frustration on the part of Jared, just his location with his fastball not quite there today.
Yeah, we talked about, beginning part of the game is the fact is he most times takes out 4 or 5 quality out pitches. So far in this game, he's had a tough feel for his changeup. His curveball's been pretty good. Slider at times gets underneath it, but he's a battler. He'll find a way through it.
2-2.
He's thrown one pitch, a curveball, slow one at 68, and his fastball has been the high so far in 92.
2-2 pitch. Brantley fouls it back to the left.
There's not many pitchers you can see a 24-mile-an-hour differential between a pitch. A curveball, slow curveball, and a fastball. That's what makes him so special, that ability to do so. Then you can see guys maybe 14, 50-mile-an-hour difference between a changeup and a fastball.
Fastball high, full count. With 2 outs, Hafner will be off the pitch at first. It is a little odd to see Jared with no strikeouts by this time in the game. 2 outs in the 4th inning. Hafner takes off. The 3-2 is fouled back to the screen. 55 pitches thrown by Jared. 37 strikes.
He's certainly around the zone, but just whether the approach for the Indian hitters today against him. I talked when I told you earlier about John Nunnally, the hitting coach, said they're getting on top of the plate, trying to take that inside part of the plate away from him and look away. So far they've been able to put the ball in play, but Jared still finds a way to make that quality pitch.
Hafner again with the lead at first will be taking off. And the payoff again. Brantley fouls it off again, this time the second level here on the third base side. The Angels with 2 runs in the 2nd inning, courtesy of Vernon Wells' 4th home run of the year. Indians getting one of those back here in the 4th inning. 1 out double by Santana, base hit by Hafner, and the sac fly by Orlando Cabrera. This one off the end of the bat, one with a changeup there. The count remains full.
Well, you would think after a changeup like that, he would be really susceptible to that fastball, that 2-seam fastball inside now. But you got to be comfortable with that pitch.
9 pitches so far to Michael Brantley.
Go with the fastball, but going to go away. The reason why I think a fastball inside against Michael Brantley, he's a guy that's going to go inside out on the swing, so he's looking away, down and away on that fastball to be able to punch it in left field. That's where Vernon's playing him, to hit the ball to left. So with a swing like that, you're going to be susceptible to a fastball above the belt inside. Now they're going to come back in, try that fastball inside.
Popped him up. Ibar going out, Wells coming in. It's Wells with the call and the catch. That'll end the inning. But Cleveland does get a run on a couple of hits. Leave a man off. We hit at the bottom of the fourth. 2-1 Angels. AT&T. By your Southern California Ford dealer. Visit us today and trade up to Ford. And by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, get the new Bourbon Barbecue Steak Grilled Sandwich at participating restaurants. Angels on top 2-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Torrey Hunter to lead things off here against Alex White. Got out of a little bit of trouble in that third inning. Had runners at first and third with one out, but he induced the double play that was hit into by Meiser Sturis. Torrey takes a fastball in for a strike. Hunter, one of the two strikeouts for White in this game, both coming in the second. So Torrey 0 for 1. Fastball's down and in. One pitch. 2 balls and a strike. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed by Alex White in his second major league start. Indians minor league pitcher of the year last year. Good slider. 2-2.
Boy, Torrey was guessing right there on that fastball inside once again, but threw him a slider. And you wonder how, when you're a young pitcher, you have a tough inning last inning, how taxing that will be. But he's responded with a couple good pitches against Torrey already in this first at bat.
And he gets him swinging again for the first down here in the fourth. Go back to our AT&T trivia question. Mike Scioscia with 999 victories. Who are the only 2 other Angels managers ever with 300 or more victories? Bill Rigney, 625. Gene Mauch.
Gene Mauch, I just love talking baseball with him.
He takes the strike.
He was a bench coach over in Kansas City for a year when Bob Boone was the manager there, just to talk with him about the game, to walk in encyclopedia.
Unfortunately for Gene, known for the failures more than anything else. Unfortunately for him, obviously starting with the 64 Phillies.
It is a shame too when you look back at his great career he had. A lot of approaches you see managers have right now are really related to what the type of baseball he tried to manage.
Howie goes down swinging. It's a back-to-back strikeouts now for White, 2 outs. So 4 overall in this game. Here comes Vernon Wells. Vernon 1 for 1, hit his 4th home run of the year in the 2nd inning. Now with 12 RBIs. Looks at a fastball for a strike. Difficult at times to pick up Kerwin Danley's strike call. Quick short jab. That's inside. Evens the count. Vernon's home run in the 2nd inning came on an 0-2 pitch. Put it down in the Cleveland bullpen. Fouls this one back and out of play. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, when you look at Alex White and his mechanics, very fluid over that pitching rubber. Make sure he gets that good balance before he delivers the baseball.
And the 1-2. Vernon skies one out to shallow center. Sizemore comes racing in. And over to Grady Sizemore. He'll make the catch. The Angels go down in order for the 2nd time tonight. For the books. The Halos still lead it though, 2-1. Jared Weaver to face 8, 9, and 1 here in the 5th. Hanahan, Marson, and then Grady Sizemore. Jack Hanahan, the 3rd baseman, 1 for 1, had a base hit in the 3rd inning. First pitch fastball from Jared is in there for a strike. Just missed down low. Jared wanted that pitch. Good changeup. Count is even at 1-1. 4 hits allowed by Weaver. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th inning. A good fastball away. Hanahan's got that somewhat long swing, kind of an uppercut swing as well.
Generally, that means you're going to be susceptible to elevated fastballs because you're going to look for the ball down.
One, 2. Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one hit in the air to shallow right. Torrey comes charging in. He'll make the running catch. Hanahan retired for the 1st out. Hey fans, Kaiser Permanente Family Sundays at the Big A are the perfect way to spend time with your family on the weekend. Free activities for kids include a variety of games and arts and crafts. The next Family Sunday takes place tomorrow, Mother's Day at 12:35 against the Indians. To purchase your tickets today, just visit angels.com. 1 out, nobody on for the catcher, Lou Marson. Looks at a fastball for strike one. Marson reached on a fielder's choice in the third inning. He's 0 for 1. Santana getting the start over at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looking back at that play at the right field, Torrey got fooled on that long swing by hand off the end of the bat. Reacted back initially because it was a long swing. You mentioned that he has that long uppercut swing, but he made a good adjustment making that play on it.
Off speed, grounded over to third. Sturris with the throw across the diamond, 2 outs. The 2 up and 2 down to start the 5th inning. Here's Grady Sizemore. He's 0 for 2 with a fly ball to left to start the ball game, and a pop-up to Jeff Mathis in the 3rd. Jared has had 1 1-2-3 inning. That came in the 2nd. Challenge him with a fastball. We've seen a bevy of off-speed pitches today against this pretty good hitting team, the Cleveland Indians. They're on a very good roll to start their year. 21-10, leading the American League Central. Trying to get them off balance. No balls, 2 strikes.
And when you think about it, most major league hitters prefer to hit the fastball, so if you could change speeds, you're going to be successful. But all his off-speed pitches for Jared have been successful, predicated because of that fastball he can locate in and out, up and down in the strike zone.
Jared stepping off the rubber there. No ball, 2 strikes here on Sizemore.
Go upstairs on with the fastball.
A little bit high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's when you can come right now with a curveball. You start it up high and drop it down. That 12-6 variety on the curveball. Go with the breaking pitch here.
Didn't chase. Count now even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jared getting ready to throw his 72nd pitch of this game. Off speed, tap foul.
Hit it twice.
Yeah. That's how good Sizemore is.
And that's how good a change of speed that pitch was too on the changeup. Out in front, still following through on the swing, hits the bat.
Two again upstairs, full count.
Off the end of the bat and a follow through, hits it again.
And he lost him. First walk issued by Weaver. Puts a man on with 2 outs, and Dribble Cabrera coming to the plate.
Although Grady Sizemore with no stolen bases yet this year, you would think this is the spot where he might think about trying to steal a bag. A guy that used to be a very good base stealer. We're trying to stay healthy once again.
Cabrera 1 for 2 with a base hit in the 1st inning. A fly ball to center. That came in the 3rd. Sizemore, no stolen bases in his first 15+ games. This being his 16th. He's coming off the DL. He has been caught once. Cabrera takes the off-speed pitch in for strike one. Sizemore not taking a very big lead over at first base. Staying close with the good move that Jared has. The Angels have another guy with a pretty good move going tomorrow. Dan Herron in the finale of this series against Fausto Carmona. 12:35 on Mother's Day. Change up, rolled foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
You mix in Pinheiro with a very good move also. That's 3 really good moves from right-handed pitchers on this Angel staff.
We saw Tyler last night working a little bit on holding the baseball, varying his looks.
The thing he's learning from Dan Herron and Jared Weaver is that quick pitch. After you hold the ball for a while with a man on first, then you get in your stretch position and boom, quick pitch. You throw out the runner and the batter at the same time.
0-2, and that is line foul at the third base side. Cabrera hit only .276 last year, missed 2 months of the season with a fractured left forearm. Pretty good hitter when he's going good, as the 0-2 is in the dirt. Nothing that Mathis could do there. Sizemore advances on the wild pitch.
With a curveball like this way in front of the plate, all you could try to do is get your body in front, which he did so, but the spin on that curveball kept it away from his body at the end after it hit the chest protector.
So a man in scoring position. Sizemore representing the tying run. A 1-ball, 2-strike count here on Cabrera. He takes down low, 2-2.
And this has definitely been a battle so far for Jared this evening. Again, he's a guy that always seems to find that right pitch when he needs to.
Two rolled up the line, foul on the first base side. And it has been a battle for Jared. Not racking up strikeouts. You mentioned the off-speed pitches. Hasn't really. It's amazing how the lack of fastballs, how good a fastball he has, 4-seam as well as a 2-seamer, that he hasn't gone to it on occasion. Pretty good fastball hitting team in Cleveland.
But still, when you make that hitter aware of a lot of off-speed pitches, that fastball is a little bit crisper. 23 pitches in the fourth, 21 already, going to be 22 coming up. As far as pitch count, he's been so good throughout the game. Only 2 0-2 counts the whole game for Jared. That's unusual for him.
And a 3-2 count now, back-to-back batters in which he has gotten to 3-2 after getting ahead. Shin-Soo Choo is on deck. This inning started by getting Hanahan to hit fly ball to right, then Marson grounding out weakly to third. 4 full counts in this game for Jared Weaver. Trying to get that last out of the 5th. Fastball fouled off to the left.
And this is when you get in that whole pitch count theory. You can make it, an argument right now. Jared now, well, next pitch will be 83. It's a taxing 83. He's been in a couple games so far this year. He threw 125 pitches in a game. His last game out, 118. The game before, 114. So he's averaging around 114 or so a game.
Off speed down low, and he walked it. Back-to-back walks. Puts 2 on with 2 outs and Choo coming to the plate. Mike Butcher to pay a visit. Well, they're getting pretty good reads on Weaver too. Not get too many guys that are fooled on that changeup.
Now, like I said, the approach is talking to Nunnally before. What they're going to try to crowd the plate, take away that fastball inside, and look for off speed. And again, Jared has 3 above average off speed pitches, whether it's a slider, curveball, or changeup. And sometimes that's when that BP fastball that he has could be a very effective pitch for him.
We've seen a few of those in this game. Mike Butcher back in the dugout. Still 2 outs. Grady Sizemore at second. And Cabrera over at first. Chu takes the first pitch strike. Getting ahead hasn't been the problem. It's finishing off guys. It's been the issue. Chu's 0 for 2 as he pulls this one down the right field line. That was a fair ball heading into the corner. Sizemore will score. Being waved around is Cabrera. He is going to score. The Indians are on top, 3-2.
After a couple 2-out walks, a very difficult hitter. Chu gets a curveball, and Mathis wanted that ball outside, but it got the middle of the plate, but down. Certainly the height of the pitch was not the issue, but location of that curveball.
First hit of the series for Shin-Soo Choo, his 4th double of the year, now with 17 runs batted in. And it brings up Carlos Santana, who doubled his last time up. Breaking ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Santana with that double in the 4th scored the Indians' first run. 1 for 2 game. A 2-out rally for Cleveland here in the 5th, helped out by the back-to-back walks issued by Weaver. No strikeouts in this game, 2 walks, and 5 hits allowed by Jared. 1-1 upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Jared getting ready to throw his 30th pitch here of the 5th inning. On the outside corner. Two-two. Fastball missed in, full count.
Getting around on that 2-seam fastball. If you drop your elbow at all, if you're a pitcher trying to go inside, you're going to have that ball stay that same plane. You got to get on top of that a little bit better. And that's been a difficult thing for Jared. Get on top of his fastball to work down as far as that movement, trying to freeze a hitter inside.
Santana backs out at the plate. Shin-Soo Choo leads off at second. 3-2, popped up third base side. The Stir's coming over, and that ball's going to land in the seats. So reset and do it again at 3 balls, 2 strikes. This one lined into center field. Borges coming in, plays it on a hop. Chu's racing around. And he's going to score. It's 4-2 Cleveland. Another off-speed pitch. Santana picks up his 2nd hit and his 18th run batted in.
Where Foxmo sees that fastball. Tried to run it in, but end up running to the middle part of the plate. And Santana covers that one.
So Travis Hafner steps to the plate now. A 1-for-2 game. Fly ball to left and a base hit for Hafner. Howie Kendrick playing out at shallow right field as Hafner swings through that pitch. No balls and a strike.
See, that curveball right there was a good one because he got on top of that curveball and snapped it at the very end out over the front leg. Some of his pitches, whether it be the changeup or fastball, rushing through his delivery, landing, and that forces that elbow to level off, and that's why you see elevated pitches or lack of break on some of the curveballs or sliders.
It's 0-2 again. Hisanori Takahashi first man up, and again I say again because we've seen that already in this inning. He just has not been able to finish it off, and it thought that was going to be the case after Alex White retired the Angels in order in the bottom of the fourth. Jared came out, got the first two, got ahead of Grady Sizemore, walked him, walked Cabrera, the double to Chu, and the base hit to Santana. Trying to finish off Travis Hafner. A throw over to first.
I mean, you're going to run into those peaks and valleys during the course of the season. His first 6 games weren't even really human. He was that good. But it's just the adjustment period. Maybe you don't feel quite as strong, but that's when you really got to trust your mechanics to get you through it.
Hafner base hit into center field. Santana rounding second, heading to third. Borges gets the baseball in. So 2 walks and 3 straight hits here with 2 outs in the 5th for Cleveland. They've got runners at first and third. And Orlando Cabrera coming to the plate. .36 pitches thrown by Weaver here in the 5th. Already the most runs allowed by Weave in a game this year. The 7 hits allowed matches the season high allowed is against Oakland. Cabrera loops one down the right field line, and this one is going to be fouled.
That's when you got to hope you can just have something in the tank left to make a pitch or 2 to get through this inning and hope the offense picks you up. He's been so good as far as being a stopper or in some of the losing streaks, been dominant. That's when you hope your offense can pick you up tonight.
Strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Carlos Santana over at third base and Hafner at first. Oh-2's popped up. Shallow left center. Ibar going out. Wells and Borges coming in. Ibar will make the catch. That will end the inning. But the Indians drop a 3 spot here in the 5th. And Jared Weaver throws 39 pitches. We get to the bottom of the 5th inning. Drives up 4-2. Jared Weaver on the bench. The Angels down 4-2. A long 5th inning. Jared Weaver, 5 innings so far, no strikeouts. Jared Weaver never in his career has gone 5 innings without a strikeout. Angels offense to pick him up here. Mark Trumbo takes a sinker at first strike.
Wow, that was a pretty favorable strike call. Late movement.
A 1 pitch. Trumbo chops it foul. It snowballs 2 strikes. Trumbo, Mathis, and Borges here in the bottom of the 5th inning, where the Halos had an opportunity in that 3rd inning. 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Just could not tack on some runs. At that point, a 2-0 Angels lead. Off speed at the dirt. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mark 0 for 1. He was a strikeout victim in the 2nd. What a 4 strikeouts for Alex White in this game. Here's the 1-2 on its way. Trumbo chops it off the plate. It's got a chance to be an infield base hit. Hanahan, no chance. Leadoff man is on board. Trumbo gets the knock.
Well, Hanahan did about as well as you could do on that chopper. But once that hits the plate and goes that high, it's going to be a base hit. And Trumbo runs pretty well. He's got a couple stolen bases on the season. You can see how he gets down the line quickly. The hitters, they just sense that base hit. It looks good in the box score, even though he was fooled on and hit it off the plate. See if the offense can respond right back after that tough inning for Jared, in which he gave up those 3 runs. All after he got the first 2 guys out, a couple walks and then 3 straight base hits.
Well, Jeff Mathis steps to the plate, 0 for 1. He grounded a short to end the 2nd. Shows bunt, takes inside for ball 1. White's thrown 63 pitches, 44 for strikes, so he's been around the zone. The only walk that he's allowed was to Bobby Abreu with 1 out in the 3rd, and that put runners at 1st and 3rd before Astures rolled into that inning-ending double play. 1-0 pitch. This is grounded toward the hole as Drupal Cabrera flips to the 2nd. It's a wide throw. We'll see how they rule that. But because Asdrubal had so far to go to his right, that's the only play he had, was to kind of throw off balance, and it pulled Orlando Cabrera off the bag, and it's an infield base hit for Mathis.
Very difficult play, especially your body is going away from the throw. We mentioned Trumbo running well and running hard to second base. And the offense with that opportunity to get right back.
Well, Peter Borges steps to the plate. Trumbo at 2nd, Mathis at 1st. Borges tried to bunt his way on his first time up, deadened the baseball too much. Left it out in front of the plate. Lou Marson gunned him down. Hanahan at 3rd base, in on the grass. Santana at 1st, the same for him. The breaking ball is down low. 1 ball, no strikes on Peter Borges.
You would think with a sinker ball pitcher who doesn't elevate many pitches, should be a guy that you'd be able to be successful getting the bunt down. Much easier to bunt a ball around knee level or lower than it is when it's elevated.
One-0 pitch, not bunting, and fouls it back. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Probably get right back to the bunt now. Give Peter 1 shot at it.
Takes a strike. He pulled the bat back. Kerwin Danley calls a strike, and it's 1-2.
Threw him a slider. I'm thinking he called that pitch a strike on the pitch itself.
I agree.
Pretty good slider.
So it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Hanahan drops back at third. Santana at the cut of the grass at first. 1-2. Popped up on the infield. Infield fly roll. There is the first out. So 1 out. Runner still at first and second. Here comes Eric Ibar. He tripled his last time up. His first of the year. But ended up being stranded at third base. He grounded out in the first. So 1 for 2 night. That triple extends Ibar's hitting streak to 6 games. Ibar saw a lot of pitches in that first inning at bat when he went to 3-0, worked it to a 3-2 count, fouled off a couple pitches, and then grounded out. And hit that triple off the base of the wall out in right center field. That first pitch outside.
He's been swinging the bat well for a long period of time. You look back at his last 15 games coming in today, in 371. So now 24 for 64 during that streak.
Took a big hack there, fouls it straight back. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. A couple of infield singles to start the bottom of the 5th inning for the Angels. Trumbo off the plate, and Mathis toward the hole at short.
A lot of room to left center field. And that last pitch, a fastball that was up and away. Well, if he can keep that in play, that's got a good chance of going to that exact position, because it was a fastball up at 94, but away. That's what you're going to try to do as a hitter, left-handed hitter against him.
1-1, fouled off the left. 1-2 now. Bobby Abreu's on deck. Halo's trying to respond to the 3 runs the Indians put on the board at the top of the 5th inning. Courtesy of 3 hits, a couple of walks. Goes down swinging, and he's out. 2 outs. Trumbo stays at second base. Mathis at first.
Look at split finger fastball once again. He's had a couple punch outs with that pitch.
He's got 5 strikeouts to go with 1 walk. And now there are 2 outs here with 2 on, and Abreu coming up. He grounded out in the first inning, drew a walk in the third, so an 0 for 1 night. The Halos with 5 hits in this one. 2 in the second, 1 in the third. The 2 infield singles here in the 5th. Cleveland with 7 knocks. And Abreu takes a strike. Looks like Takahashi's up and loosening again, so perhaps Jared Weaver's evening may be complete. Long look in for White, now backs off. 2 balls and 1 strike.
A good fastball count here. Look at that split finger fastball he just threw at him.
There's a 2-1 pitch. Bobby lays off that one. It's a 3 ball, 1 strike count.
Pretty tough two-seam fastball. He missed by a lot. But if you swing at that pitch, you better be thinking the other way. Otherwise, it's a ground ball right to second.
Well, he showed Abreu a couple of fastballs on the inside part of the plate early in the at-bat. Since then, he's kind of gone down and away from him. That's how he induced that ground ball at Bobby in the first inning. Looks like they're coming back inside. 3-1 pitch. He gets jammed. It pops it up. Hanahan crossing into foul territory. The inning comes to an end. No runs, 2 hits. The Angels leave 2 on, 5 in the books. 4-2 Cleveland.
Now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Some leather last night for the Halos on the defensive side. Eric Ibar stretching out into the outfield grass. Throws out Brantley at first base. Then Amariso jumping up and making an outstanding play out left field. They're generally a second baseman. And speaking of second baseman playing a different position, Howie Kendrick at first. Full extension makes the play, and the defense in general has improved. Last season, 13th ranked in the American League. This year, tied for first. That was our Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
Nicely done, my man. Jared Weaver back out for the 6th inning.
Like that good defense. It allows you as a pitcher to be more aggressive when that pitch is hit and put in play, and it's caught.
This one popped up behind the plate. Mathis gets rid of the mask. Brantley is retired for the first down here in the 6th. Brantley was the only guy that did not come up to bat against Weaver in the 5th inning. Over this pop-up now, he's 0 for 3. Brings up Jack Hanahan, the third baseman. 1 for 2 with a base hit and a fly ball to right. He's the guy that started off the 5th inning with a fly ball to right. Marson with a ground ball to third, and then Cleveland worked a couple of walks, got some hits. Hanahan takes a fastball for a strike. 101 pitches now for Jared. 68 strikes. Still no strikeouts. 2 walks. And the 7 hits allowed. Missed inside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels 0 for 4 with men in scoring position. It's 2-1 now. It's a couple of finals in the American League. Tampa Bay beat Baltimore 8-2. Boston shut out the Minnesota Twins. Well, the Twins just continue to scuffle. Hanahan fouls it off. Justin Verlander, the no-hitter against the Toronto Blue Jays up at the Rogers Center. Kansas City outlasted Oakland 4-3. A couple of games still ongoing. Texas leading the Yankees 7-5 down in Arlington. White Sox shutting out Seattle 5-0. Hanahan reaches for this one, bounces it over to Kendrick. 2 outs.
Good off-speed pitch there.
Hey folks, on Tuesday the Angels host the Chicago White Sox, a 7:05 start, and all fans in attendance will receive an Angels wrestling mask courtesy of Cacique. Angels fans on hand are projected to break another Guinness World Record. Don't miss out. Purchase your tickets at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by visiting angels.com. 2/5 of the starting rotation for the Halos right there.
That never gets old, seeing that one.
It doesn't. Pinero's pose at the end, kind of Count Chocula like. Two balls and no strikes here on Lou Marson. There it is. Right?
It's great luck.
Yeah. Marson, one out to right center field. Borges is there. Jared Weaver has himself a 1-2-3 inning, his first since the second inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Angels down 4-2. Gardens Casino. Get your game on by El Pollo Loco. Get into El Pollo Loco today and try our delicious Baja-style fish tacos with classic Baja or spicy avocado sauce. Only at El Pollo Loco. And by Time Warner Cable. Halos down 4-2. Bottom of the 6th inning. Meister Sturris. The lead takes off here. Gets Alex White. The Angels setting up 3, 4, and 5 as Sturris, Hunter, and Kendrick against the young right-hander making his second major league start. 5 punch-outs, 1 walk, and 5 hits allowed. As a matter of fact, the Angels had an opportunity to kind of do something in the 5th inning, getting their first 2 men on in the 5th, but White did shut it down. But Borges to pop up, unable to sacrifice. Ibar to strike out, and then Bobby getting jammed and popping out to end the inning. The Sturris is 0 for 2. As he shoots one toward the hole, it's Drupal Cabrera. Terrific play. The throw is in time, and there's the first out. The Indians showing the same type of defense the Angels showed last night. First out here in the 6th.
Well, Cabrera has shown some very good range. This ball was hit hard, too, by Meister on the backhand. Spins around and makes a strong throw. Quick transfer for glove to throwing arm. Solid play.
Torrey takes down low. They asked for help. He did not go. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes. Torrey 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts against Alex. Well, whatever nerves he had in his major league debut against the Tigers, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, certainly have subsided here in this one. As Torrey bounces one up the third base line. It is foul. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tell you what, he has a chance of being a pretty good pitcher in the major leagues for a long time, but that type of balance and demeanor and sink on the fastball, good split finger fastball.
Two 1 pitch. Boy, down and in again with that sinker.
Such a hard pitch to be able to hit. If you're a powerful right-handed batter, that power sinker down and in, there's not a lot you can do with it. The only thing you can try is be able to drop the head of the bat before it gets into that zone off the inside corner. Otherwise, you're in trouble. Shook off slider. It looked like he shook off the split finger, coming back in with a fastball.
Torrey got a piece of it. So count remains at 2-2. Howie Kendrick on deck. 1 out here in the 6th. Breaking ball is down and away. Full boat. More than likely coming in the 7th. Takahashi has been loosening now for a little bit. Time is called, and now Marson wants to go out there.
Just need that base runner, of course. Alex White is good stuff, but he's already given up 3 home runs now, and this is his 2nd start. You know, Tim Belcher preaching of that, pounding that strike zone, throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. Certainly made an adjustment this game. Only 1 walk allowed with those 5 strikeouts. A great career, 146 wins. You talk about a competitor on the mound. Tim Belcher was one of the fiercest competitors you're ever going to see.
3-2 pitch. And Torrey takes down low. 1 out walk. Second base on ball is issued by White. Puts a man on for Howie coming up. White still a very manageable 86 pitches so far. White able to jump into the rotation for the Indians because of the injuries to Mitch Talbot and Carlos Carrasco. Howie lines one into the alley in right center field, a base hit. Sizemore's over there to cut it off. Torrey does not stop running. He'll head to third. And that is Howie's 2nd hit of the game. His 16th multi-hit game of the year. And again, the Angels have runners at first and third. 1 out situation with Vernon coming up.
Good read, too. You mentioned that Torrey getting the third with this nice inside-out swing, that simplified approach once again for Howie Kendrick. But Torrey read with Grady Sizemore going over to right center field, a left-handed glove out in the outfield. He's going to go away from the throw. Immediately went out there and took that extra bases. Tim Belcher going to go out to talk to Alex White as the bullpen starts to move around now. A couple pitches up. That walk to Torrey, and then all of a sudden a base hit. Now he's had 2 really good bats against White tonight.
Joe Smith, first man up. They've got some pretty good arms down in the bullpen for Cleveland. We saw a few of them last night. Now it's time for our Jaguar key performance.
And on an 0-2 pitch, Vernon Wells gets that fastball in the inner half, and boy, did he turn on that one. Hits it into the bullpen of the Tribe over the Angel bullpen for a 2-run home run, giving the Angels a lead at that point.
Vernon comes to the plate here with 1 out. Torrey Hunter at third. Howie Kendrick over at first base. Howie Kendrick with 2 or more hits in 8 of his last 12 games. First pitch fastball is down and away. Wells 1 for 2. That 2-run home run in the second inning that put the Angels up 2-0 at that point. With a fly ball to center field in the fourth. Here's the 1-0. Vernon shoots one out toward right, chasing Shin-Soo Choo back. It should be deep enough to score, Torrey. And I say that with an asterisk, and it is. The throw goes to second. It's a sacrifice fly for Vernon. It's a 1-run deficit, 4-3 Cleveland. Shin-Soo Choo has got a great arm. It's never just a given that a runner's going to score.
No doubt about it. But the thing that was smart, though, was Howie at first base. A lot of times you see a guy at first on a first and third situation will go ahead and try to tag up, but there was no thought as far as trying to do that against Choo. He was firing it right in there. Obviously, ball hit the right. He's going to go in and try to challenge it, but not against Choo.
Good approach by Vernon Wells. Pitch elevated away from him. Didn't try to pull it.
Got the job done. Now 3 RBI on the game for Vernon.
There's Mark Trumbo. Trumbo hammers one foul just in front of Dino. He saw it coming the whole way. Look at it.
He knew it was coming. Yeah. It was funny during batting practice today. Everyone jokes around when Trumbo goes to hit because he hit so many far home runs in BP. Soch was joking around, hey, bring the infield in.
Yeah. Three RBIs for Vernon. Season high for him in a game. 0-1 pitch. No balls, 2 strikes.
A nasty power sinker at 94.
Trumbo 1 for 2. Had that infield base hit off the plate in the 5th inning. Strikeout victim in the 2nd. 91 pitches now thrown by White. Howie's still over at first. Pitch out, nothing's happening.
More than likely come right back with that power sinking fastball. See if Trumbo can get it. Shook him off. Right there, fastball. It's originally what he was thinking he wanted to throw. That means when you throw over the first base,
you're not buying.
No, you're going, oh, you know what? Let me think about it. Let me throw that slider. See if he goes back. See if Marshall will put down the 3 sign for the slider. Oh, he's coming right with that fastball again.
1-2. Chopper off the plate. That's going to be another infield base hit. Biggest guy in the Angels dugout's got 2 knocks off the plate.
Maybe that's what Soch was talking about, bring the infield in.
Puts runners at first and second with 2 outs here, and Mathis with an opportunity to try to tie things up.
Who would ever thought Mark Trumbo would have 2 infield hits today? But you know what? It looks like a rocket. Check out that newspaper tomorrow for 2 hits.
I think he's whispering in Borges' ear, hey man, this is all you got to do with your speed. I've just put on a clinic for you. I hope you're taking notes.
I still can't believe Soch was joking about that today. Bring the infield in against him. And he gets 2 infield hits.
Mathis 1 for 2. Infield base hit for him his last time up. Takes the fastball in for a strike. Brantley is very shallow in left. Sizemore shallow at center, and Choo shallow in right. Howie taking a very big lead at second base. The 0-1. Slider. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, pretty good slider. It'd be nice to see Jeff Mathis pick up his battery mate, more than likely done. Jared Weaver, so maybe he could pick him up, give him an opportunity to, at the very least, lead with a 4-4 tie, if not a lead, if it hit this ball in the alley.
Joe Smith ready to go in the bullpen for Cleveland. 0-2.
Missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But throughout the game, quite a few Indians fans here at the Big A. They've traveled well this weekend. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Kendrick at second, Trumbo at first. Down in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, here you got a young pitcher trying to fight his way through to finish off this inning, to be in position to get his first major league win. Starting to aim some pitches.
97 pitches thrown so far by White. The Angels getting one of those runs back here in the 6th inning, courtesy of Vernon Wells' sacrifice fly. 2-2. Fouled back. Put that fastball up and ran it up there at 96.
The hardest fastball he's had tonight.
Well, we heard that coming to the ballpark today about Alex White at the University of North Carolina. Great fastball in college. They got to the minor leagues and they said, you know what? That's great that you can strike out guys. You got to learn how to pitch. He certainly made that transformation, but you know that in the gas tank he still has that.
Especially when that's a 4-seam fastball up.
2-2. Inside. Full count. Advantage to the Angels with the runners going with the pitch here.
Huge advantage, especially when you have an arm like Chu out in right field to be able to have the base runners move in case Mathis gets a base hit in the right field.
Kendrick at second, Trumbo at first. Runners go, and they got him swinging with a fastball. Down goes Mathis to end the inning. The Angels do get a run, though. They do it on a hit. 2 hits, pardon me. Leave 2 on. 6 in the books. 4-3 Cleveland. Top of the 7th inning, it is 4-3 Cleveland. New pitcher on the mound. You see him there loosening with Jeff Mathis. Hisanori Takahashi takes over for Jared Weaver. Went 6 innings today. 7 hits and 4 runs all earned. Takahashi pitching in his 16th game. His last outing was against the Red Sox, and it was a shaky outing.
Yeah, the big thing for Takahashi, he's got to get back to having fastball command. You know, he has an assortment of all-speed pitches and deceptions, very good. But if he doesn't command the fastball where he wants it, works ahead of the count, it's a more difficult task for him.
Well, here in the 7th inning, he'll be facing the top of the order. Sizemore, Cabrera, and Chu. A couple of left-handers and one switch hitter. Richard Weaver, 7 hits allowed, 4 runs, all earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts. In his 6 innings, he is the pitcher of record. The Angels now have stranded 4 base runners in the last 2 innings, 5 overall. Grady Sizemore 0 for 2. Did draw a walk, scored a run in that 3-run 5th inning for Cleveland. Takes a strike. It was that walk that kind of started the mini rally for the Indians. Back-to-back walks to Sizemore and Cabrera with 2 outs. Chu with a double. Santana with a single. Hafner with a single. It was all said and done. Cleveland was on top 4-2. The Angels getting one of those runs back in the bottom of the 6th inning. Foul tip, hung on to by Mathis. No balls, 2 strikes. Hisanori, his last time out was on Tuesday. Went 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 home runs, 3 total runs allowed. Sizemore takes a called strike 3, and there's out number 1. And the Halos conclude the homestand against the White Sox on Wednesday. It's a 7:05 start on Wednesday night, and all fans receive a retro 1961 replica hat. Purchase your tickets today by visiting the Angels Stadium ticket office or logging on to angels.com. There's that halo on the hat.
Good old school hat.
Strikeout of Sizemore, the first strikeout of the game. Angels pitching. Here's his dribble, Cabrera. Fouls off the first pitch. It's no balls and a strike.
I think the youngsters having fun at the ballpark.
Pretty good swing.
Well, there is a boxing match on tonight. He got a good haymaker.
Cabrera fouls it off to the right. 0-2 count on Cabrera. 1 for 2 game for him. First inning base hit. Fly ball to center. A walk with a run scored.
Some early good signs for Takahashi. Good velocity on the fastball and locating it well so far. And a couple at 91.
Grounded over to third. Asteris has got the skimmer. Drops.
See, that swing right there was predicated because of the command of the fastball. Then is able to throw a changeup. Gets Cabrera out in front, rolls over, hits a ground ball to third base. Perfect spot too. Boy, anytime you get a hitter to reach and try to make contact, you're going to have those type of results. Only because you get ahead of the count too with the fastball. Otherwise, he's not swinging at that pitch. He's going to let that one go.
Chu loops one out to shallow left center field. Ibar back penalty out, can't get it. Goes off his glove, and Chu has himself a base hit. Boy, nice effort on the part of Eric Ibar to almost get to that baseball. Second hit of the game for Chu.
Good read too. Right off the bat, you thought no chance at all for Eric Ibar. Almost made a spectacular play again. Boy, just a great read. Reaches out just off the end of the glove.
Carlos Santana steps to the plate. 2-hit game for him. Spins around to hit from the right side. Takes a strike. Francisco Rodriguez beginning to loosen. The Angels in the bottom of the 7th inning have 9-1 and 2 due up. Borges, Ibar, and Abreu. Cleveland has some action in their bullpen as that pitch is in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Tony Sipp, left-hander. He's got good zip of his fastball.
Yeah, he rushes up it from left side, 93, 94.
Throw over to first. Back safely is Shin-Soo Choo. No balls, 2 strikes here on Carlos Santana. Lays off the off speed. 1-2. Middle part of the order for Cleveland, getting the job done. 6 total hits, 2 each by Choo, Santana, and Hafner. You sucker punch your old man, you're going to get fed. That's all it takes. 1-2. Just missed off the plate, 2-2.
Boy, pretty good spot. Just off the outside corner. Again, when you have a hitter track a pitch like that, they're more susceptible to pitches away again because that just missed.
Good throw over. A nice job by Trumbo. Another throw over. Choo has not shown any signs in this game when he's been on base to try to attempt anything. Jared did a nice job of keeping would-be base stealers at bay. The 2-2. Rolled up the third base line. Backhanded by his Stewart. Wrong throw. It's low. Dug out by Trumbo. That is the third out of the inning. No runs, a hit. 1 man left on base. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. The Angels down by a run.
Left his legacy in music, TV, film, and of course, baseball. The Angels owner for over 30 years passed away in 1998, but his memory remained 4 years later.
2002, I saw a sign saying, win one for the Cowboy, win this for the Cowboy. It was all over, and you could feel it, his presence. It just got chills.
The Angels down by a run here, 4-3 as we start the bottom of the 7th inning. Everybody on their feet, of course. It's America's favorite, Buttercup.
Oh, just the energy you feel here now. Hey, you got to slow it down a little bit. Your dad's a little bit too much up here.
Well, you know, you get a couple of moments to do the Carlton in the press box. Might as well
yes.
Bust it out on
just
occasion.
move the chair out of the way and start breaking it down.
New pitcher on for Cleveland. Tony Sipp, the left-hander, comes on in place of the rookie Alex White. Did a terrific job in his second major league start. 6 innings. It limited the Angels to 3 runs on 7 hits. 6 strikeouts and 2 walks.
Sipp's a guy with a fastball, mentioned, can run it up there at 93, 94, but settles around 89 to 93 range. A good slider and a changeup.
Peter Bourjos takes a fastball up and in. The Indians have quite a few guys in their bullpen with ERAs below 2. Sipp is one of them at 1.84, pitching in his 16th game. 14 2/3 innings, 9 hits allowed, 10 punch outs, 6 walks. He's got 9, 1, and 2 due up here in the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss. Evens count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Peter 0 for 2, trying to bunt his way on in the 3rd inning. Marson threw him out, and then he got popped up in the 5th. One ball, 2 strikes. A couple of guys up for the Angels in the bullpen. Fernando Rodney on the left, Rich Thompson on the right.
Something to keep an eye on with Tony Sipp, a guy with that fastball. Not a lot of movement in it. Last year gave up 12 home runs in 63 innings pitched coming out of the bullpen. So an elevated fastball is a tough pitch for him because there's not a lot of movement and could be hit hard.
We got off to a good start. Did not allow a run in his first 8 2/3 to start the year. Gave up 3 earned runs against Kansas City on April the 20th. And Bourjos goes down swinging for the first out. Like he turned over that fastball. One out, nobody on for Eric Ibar. Apparently somebody has passed along the message that, well, we were talking about your family.
Little fella has some energy.
There's Eric Ibar hitting from the right side for the first time. Takes a breaking ball in there. Eric 1 for 3. Had a triple in the 3rd inning, his first of the year. He's grounded out and struck out his other 2 plate appearances. This one rolled up the line foul. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Last night the Indians, after Justin Masterson, had Perez, the left-hander, Toscano, Smith, and Germano, the right-handers, come into the game. Germano gave up the 4 hits and the 1 run that counted the most in the 11th. The 3 relievers prior to Germano gave up no runs on 1 hit in 3 innings of relief. 0-2 pitch. Ibar pops it up. As Jubal Cabrera, Jack Hanahan, it's Cabrera with the call. 2 outs. Fans, the authentic 1980s uniforms, hats, and helmets that were worn for the first 3 Flashback Fridays are now available for sale at the Art of the Game kiosk located behind section 113 on the field level up here at Big A. Be sure to check out these items before they sell out. 2 quick outs here for Tony Sipp, and here's Bobby Abreu. Bobby hitless in this one, 0 for 2. Did draw a walk in the 3rd inning. Lays off that pitch for ball 1. Would imagine if the score remains tied, it's Rich Thompson coming in for Hisanori Takahashi. Did a nice job in the top of the 7th. It's fouled back.
Well, that's what Mike Butcher and Mike Socia wanted to see out of Takahashi, just that command in the strike zone. And then when you get ahead, finish off with that great changeup like he was able to get the ground ball out against Santana on that pitch.
I mean, if the score remains as it is, Rich Thompson. One and 2. Nothing but strikes, really. 11 pitches, 8 strikes, 3 balls by Tony Sipp. tight, 2-2. I mentioned all the low ERAs, the sub-2 ERAs by many of the guys in that bullpen for Cleveland. The flip side to it is that they keep on this pace, they're going to end up with 70 to 80 games on the year for each of those guys out there.
And eventually that taxes your bullpen. You need starters to go deep and get a couple complete games.
And Bobby goes down swinging a 1-2-3 inning for Tony Sipp, including a couple of strikeouts. 7 of the books. It's still 4-3 Cleveland. Farmers Insurance report card for this ball game. Vernon Wells, season high 3 runs batted in, had a 2-run home run in the second, a sac fly in the 6th. Jared Weaver, 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 0 strikeouts. Mike Scioscia hanging on 999 career victories. The Halos will have to battle back here, down by a run. Takahashi back out there for another inning. Facing Travis Hafner, Orlando Cabrera, and Michael Brantley. Hafner 2 for 3, a couple of singles, a fly ball to left. Off to a very good start for Cleveland, 356 average. With the 2 hits tonight, 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Everyday DH. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Boy, a dangerous pitch now, Hafner, with a lot of power. Fastball count, we talked about the need for Takahashi to be consistent in the strike zone.
Two and one. Takahashi's 2-1 pitch. Hafner another foul. Count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cleveland with action in their bullpen. Looks like the guy that the Angels saw last night, Vinny Pistano, is up and loosening. They'll have 3, 4, and 5 for the Angels in the 8th. A jam roller. Takahashi will flip on the trombone. There's out number 1 to strike the 8th.
I'm talking about getting inside the kitchen. Jam, Hafner, and Takahashi did a nice job of fielding the position. If that ball gets by, it might be an interesting play.
That's going to be it for Hisanori Takahashi. Rich Thompson is going to be called upon it. They get the last 2 outs here in the 8th. Takahashi, an inning in the 3rd.
1 strikeout and 1 walk, no runs allowed. Pitching change here at the Big A. 4-3 Cleveland. Top of the 8th, still 4-3 Cleveland. Rich Thompson takes over here for Hisanori Takahashi. We'll take a look at our American Airlines upcoming schedule. One more with Cleveland tomorrow, 12:35 start on Mother's Day. The White Sox roll into town. The first of 3 on Monday, and then back out on the road. Western Division Series against Texas Rangers, Oakland Athletics, and the Seattle Mariners. A 3-2-2 road trip is forthcoming. First pitch from Rich Thompson in there for a strike against Orlando Cabrera. 0 for 2, but did have a sacrifice fly in the 4th. And that played in the Indians' first run of the game. Cabrera, it's a lazy fly ball to left. Vernon Wells comes chugging in. 2 outs.
Like a little bit either a slider or a cut fastball that was elevated, but just high enough to get induce Orlando Cabrera to pop that one up.
Rich pitching in his 12th game. 17 and a third innings. 13 hits allowed, 21 strikeouts and 3 walks. Opponent's hitting 200 off. Brantley takes high, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Indians left fielder 0 for 3. Ground ball to second, a fly ball to left, and a pop-up in foul territory to Jeff Mathis. One ball, 1 strike. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Maicer Esturras, Torrey Hunter, Howie Kendrick. Scheduled 3 guys. What we believe will be Vinny Pistano.
A good power fastball he has and a nasty slider.
Pistano went 1 inning last night, giving up a hit. Thompson delivers a strike, and it's 1-2. Last night, in his 9th inning, he faced Esturras, Hunter, Callaspo, and Kendrick. Got Howie to strike out to end the inning. Callaspo is the guy that touched him for a base hit. Breaking ball grounded toward the middle. Howie to his right. And Brantley is retired. A 1-2-3 inning as the Indians go down in order. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Angels down by a run. Chase. Deposit checks from your smartphone with Quick Deposit. Take a step forward and chase what matters. And by 76 Gasoline. We're on the driver's side. Bottom of the 8th inning. The Angels down by a run. 4-3 Cleveland. Middle part of the order coming up for the Angels with Sturz, Hunter, and Kendrick. New pitcher on the mound for Cleveland. The Rally Monkeys made an appearance. And Vinny Pistano is making his second appearance of this series. Pitched last night in the 9th. And Cal State Fullerton, 15 games now this year, 1.42 ERA.
That three-quarters delivery has in the fastball, plus the same arm slot for that nasty, sharp slider. Makes it difficult to really square up the baseball against him.
Hitters just batting a 159 clip against Pistano, who has struck out 14 in 12 2/3. Meister Sturz hitless tonight. 0 for 3, couple of groundouts to short, and a double play ball that ended the 3rd inning. Corner infielders in for Cleveland just in case. And Meister takes a strike. 0-1. One ball, one strike. Halo's looking for some base runners. They've had him in this game, just have not been able to cash him in. Credit Alex White for doing a terrific job. As that slider, it's in the strike zone. Caught the inside corner. It's 1-2.
Well, it's a tough pitch to really attack. If you're a left-handed batter, sweep it inside. If you make any contact, you're going to pull that foul.
1-2, looped in the air to shallow left field, and that's going to fall in for a leadoff base hit.
A nice job of going inside out, because that wasn't hit particularly hard, but you make it contact when you've had a couple strikes, especially that pitch before, that nasty slider.
There's Torrey Hunter, 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts, a walk and a run scored. Pulled the trigger on it, comes up empty, and it's no balls and a strike.
Boy, he had a pretty good pitch, too, the drive. Certainly in a spot where Torrey wants the fastball, especially first pitch fastball. Just swung through it.
Got another one there. Challenged him. No balls, 2 strikes. Torrey faced Pistano last night and ended up grounding out to third. Sizemore extremely deep out in center field and shading Torrey the opposite way. Fastball got him swinging. And there's out number 1. They stayed away from him on that pitch.
Well, that's a pretty good spot, especially when your head fastball away off the outside corner. Still, I've always firmly believed that's the pitch to throw 0-2, because it makes the hitter not only think about swinging at it, if he takes it, you can go right back out, or that's when you can bust him in at that point. But early, that first pitch, he had a good pitch to drive and just missed it. Just pulled off it enough.
First pitch to Howie's outside on a fastball. Kendrick, a 2 for 3 night, couple of singles and a strikeout. 16 now, multi-hit games. Pistano doesn't waste a whole lot of time as that slider drops in there, and it's 1-1. Rafael Perez, the lefty, up. He pitched in last night's game.
Big lead at first base for Maiser. Now he fouls it back. 1-2.
Well, now he's got to try to fight off a tough pitch. Slider to pitch before, then that a fastball. More than likely come back with a slider again. He shook off the slider. Went fastball away now.
1-2, shot foul.
Marson wanted that slider. Instead, he shook him off, went fastball all the way again.
Another 1-2 as Sturris goes. The breaking ball's chopped on the ground at third. Hanahan has it. Sturris is going to try to go to third base, and Hanahan will tag out Sturris. And just like that, the inning comes to an end. Sturris was already in scoring position, trying to take the extra 90 feet. 8 in the books, 4-3 Cleveland. Really, just the way the bottom of the 8th ended. Not a smart play. You're already in scoring position, representing the tying run, and trying to outrun Hanahan. And Santana made a terrific throw.
Especially when you had Vernon Wells coming up, who had 3 RBIs already. You're already in scoring position. It's a decision you just don't want to make because you're already there. The base hit ties the ball game up. If you're ahead maybe by a run or two, you can take that chance. But when you're down by 1 in scoring position, you just got to stay put.
Well, Hanahan, Marson, Sizemore, 8-9-1 for Cleveland here against Rich Thompson, who got the last 2 outs of the 8th inning. Hanahan a 1-for-3 game. The base hit back in the 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Big swing by Hanahan, fouls it back, and it is 1-2. The Indians have their closer up, Chris Perez. And facing Wells, Trumbo, and Mathis. I would imagine Hank Conger perhaps in exchange for Jeff Mathis. Conger being the left-handed batter, Perez a right-hander. Breaking ball, got him swinging. Down goes Hanahan. There's out number 1.
Another great pitch by Rich. Big overhand curveball. That's been outstanding for him. Great release point too. Over top, rotation of the seams. 12-6 curveball. Perfect location.
Here's Lou Marson. Takes a sinker down and in. Marson 0 for 3, getting the start behind the plate with Santana getting the nod at first. One ball, one strike. So what a turnaround Rich Thompson has had this year.
I think you saw it started really to progress last season. More of a four-seam fastball guy. Could rush it up there 93, 94, but gave up a little bit on the velocity for better movement, better arm angle to create that sink on the fastball, and it's given him good arm slot too for his curveball and his slider and his cut fastball.
Falls behind on Marson here. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hisanori Takahashi went an inning and a third, striking out 1, allowing 1 hit. There's Sizemore, the leadoff man, on deck. Full count. Both teams even in the hit column with 8. Indians have stranded 6. The Angels have stranded 5. 2 double plays for Cleveland's defense. Three-two, sharply hit into center field, a base hit. Hung that one. Marson stayed back on it, so he's on board with 1 out here in the 9th, and here comes Sizemore. Sizemore 0 for 3. Struck out looking against Takahashi in the 7th. Did draw a 2-out walk against Jared in the 5th inning. Eventually came around to score 1 of the 3 runs. Angels took a 2-0 lead in the 2nd. Sizemore breaks his bat. It's a fly ball to shallow right field. Torrey coming out. Howie coming in. It's Torrey with the catch. They're fired to first and almost takes out Sizemore.
Nice backup by Jeff Mathis to be in that position. A lot of times you see a catcher to stand there, be happy that the play was made in the outfield and not in a position to back up. Boy, just shattered the bat.
Coming right back at us.
That'd be a great bat for stickball back in the schoolyard in Philadelphia or New York.
Marson takes off on the pitch. A throw down is not in time. A stolen base for Lou Marson. His first of the year.
Boy, pretty good jump. Just assuming he's not going to try to steal a base, but at that point, with 2 outs, it's worth taking that gamble. Pretty good throw by Mathis, but it was the jump by Marson that got him in that position to be safe.
Just missed down low. 2 balls, no strikes on Asdrubal Cabrera, who has a 1 for 3 game, including a walk and a run scored. Two 2-0 the count. Trying to get that last shot here in the 9th to get the Angels in the dugout to face Chris Perez. Keep it a 1-run deficit. Red rolls it foul up the first base line. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, as an offense for Mike Socha, you can approach that so much differently if you have It's 1-run deficits compared to 2. That's why it's so important for Rich to get through this inning, keep at a 1-run deficit, because you can still have the ability to hit and run or bunt if you get a base runner. So many things you can try. 2 runs, you got to almost go station to station.
Two 1 pitch. Cabrera fouls it back. 2-2. Mentioned already the bottom of the 9th inning. Vernon Wells, Mark Trumbo, and Jeff Mathis right now.
Yeah, you would think Hank Conger may be a guy that could be available coming off the bench. That power.
Here comes the 2-2. They just got a piece of it, fouls it off. Two-two. Foul tip, and Mathis just could not hang on to it. Rolled foul.
A pretty good battle. Some tough pitches that Rich is throwing too. Good curveball there. Cabrera just barely got a piece of it.
Mathis now going to have a conversation with Rich. Cabrera, this year anyways, has been a better right-handed hitter than he has left-handed. 326 from the right side at 46 at-bats, 229 from the left side. But he's looked pretty good tonight. The way he swung the bat, he battled against Jared, picked up that opposite field base hit in the first inning. Had a terrific at-bat in the 5th that ended up as a walk, a 9-pitch battle against Weaver. Another 2-2. This one rolled foul again.
You need to start getting a little bit nervous when he's starting to track that slow curveball. A couple in a row. You think, okay, you get that good sinking fastball, you start on the outer half and see if you could sink away and get a swing and miss.
Fouled off down the left field line and out of play, so the count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another 9-pitch at bat so far for Asdrubal Cabrera. The opportunities that the Indians have had with men in scoring position, they have taken advantage of it. 3 for 4 tonight with men in scoring position. Ivar trying to keep Marson close to the bag at second. He stole second base, his first bag of the year. Fastball up and away, full count. Shin-Soo Choo, the man on deck.
And Choo's had a pretty good game with 2 hits. A big double there in the 5th inning off of Jared Weaver.
Pickoff attempt at second, and they got him. Marson gets picked off. That will end the top of the 9th inning. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Vernon Wells, Mark Trumbo,
Jeff Mathis is scheduled 3 against the Indians closer Chris Perez. Eric Ibar, nice job on the pickoff attempt that ended the top of the inning and keeping this a 1-run deficit, dude.
Daylight play. Ibar showing the glove. Quick tag. Gets the helmet. And Marcy before he gets the hand in. Good call there at second base. Great play, too. That's one of those plays where as a base runner, you're not even anticipating that at all. Daylight play. Good throw, too, by Rich to be able to be lower at the bag to be able to apply that tag by Eric Ibar. But it's all about that communication and working on that throughout the season, of course, in spring training.
The Indians obviously trying to get a little insurance. Chris Perez, even though he has 9 saves, last couple of times out, he has been shaky. 2-1 mark. Pardon me, a 1-1 mark, a 3.21 ERA, 11 hits in 14 innings, 9 strikeouts, 6 walks. Vernon Wells to lead things off here in the bottom of the ninth. First pitch slider's in there for a strike. Vernon 1 for 2. 2-run home run in the second. A fly ball to center in the fourth. Had a sacrifice fly in the sixth. 3 RBI game. Now with 13 runs batted in on the year. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Perez at times can throw the ball out of the strike zone. He does have a good fastball, 93-96. Curve and slider, but he does have a tendency to overthrow those pitches.
The Indians with their outfield at no doubles alignment, very deep. Vernon pops it up on the first base side. Santana and Orlando Cabrera. Santana will make the catch, 1 out. Brings up Mark Trumbo. Trumbo 2 for 3, 2 infield base hits. Both off the plate. Look down to the on-deck circle, and Jeff Mathis being called back. It's actually Alberto Callaspo coming out to the on-deck circle. Trumbo hits a fly ball to shallow left field. Bradley's coming on, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs.
He was playing very deep. They run a long way to make that play.
So the Halos down to their last down here in the ninth. And will be Callaspo being called upon here.
It looks like if Callaspo gets on, Hank Conger will hit for Peter Borges.
Mathis ends the game going 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 5th. Alberto hitting .295 on the year, 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Had a 3-hit game in last night's first game of the series. 3 for 4, 3 singles. Perez delivers a strike. Jared Weaver, the pitcher of record for the Angels. Alex White in line with would be his first major league victory. No balls, 2 strikes.
We're staying away with back-to-back fastballs.
Breaking ball, chopped in the ground to the left side. Hanahan has it. Goes down to first, and Indians take game 2 by the final of 4-3.
I think what it came down to is Jerry Weaver battled well as he could. Didn't necessarily have his best stuff. And there's back-to-back walks in the 5th inning, then Chu with the double, and then a base hit after that. So they just struggled a little bit. Had some chances against the youngster and Alex White, but unable to do so.
Jared Weaver takes the loss. He is now 6-2. Alex White picks up his first major league victory. He is now 1-0. Once again, the final. 4-3 Cleveland setting up the rubber game of the series tomorrow on Mother's Day. For Mark Gubas and our crew here at the Big A, I'm Victor Rojas. We thank you for watching. Stick around. Angels Live is coming up next.